Hello everyone, welcome to another video on this extremely hot summer day. It's 7 a.m. or a bit after 7, and it's already incredibly hot here in Poland, but I'm here with my OM3 and I would like to talk with you about black and white photography. Black and white, we started this little challenge or photo task, however you wish to call it, of black and white pictures. That's why on the community tab you can see some of them. But I've started it. I did not participate too much in it because I was too busy. June was incredibly busy. But I wanted it because I really, really love black and white photography. And I love it for several reasons. I love it because it helps me more to focus on the composition, on the subject, on the structure, on the lines, on the features of things, rather than get distracted by color and things like that. And there are some photos where, for instance, rubbish cans that, for some reasons unknown to men, are always very brightly colored. They ruin the photo. With black and white, they don't, because they kind of disappear in the picture. And that's why I love it. It helps me to focus. It's also less distracting, less demanding. I don't know, maybe more demanding. I would have to think about it a bit longer to get a grips to this with this. But I really, really love it. I was growing up in the 80s and 90s in Poland, so all my early childhood photos are black and white. All my parents' photos are black and white. My grandparents' photos are black and white. And maybe that's why black and white photography has this sentimental value for me. And what is more, that's why I love so much Olympus cameras. But to be honest, you can do it in most of digital cameras these days, that you can set up black and white profiles and have beautiful JPEGs straight out of camera. How to do that and what can you do in both OM system cameras and like OM3, for instance, that I have, and older Olympus cameras, I will tell you later on in the video. For now, I'm heading to the part of the town with some old architecture, because you don't know that probably, but the city that I live in, or the town that I live in, because I don't know if for American standards this would be a city, is more than 700 years old. It was founded as a city more than 700 years ago. So there's a lot of old architecture. Of course, not original. I don't think we have anything that is left from that time, although I might be mistaken. Maybe I should do some research. But I'm heading to some older part with nice, older, but dilapidating, which I actually love, buildings. So yeah, see you in a bit from there. So what you can see here, it's a very typical Silesian yard of buildings. So people used to hang out here. And as you can see, it's not well kept. It's a bit dilapidated. But this is the reason why I like, oh, this is interesting, let's go there. Why I also like black and white photography, because it makes the things that are ugly and sad, it gives them some little, maybe more noble charm. They seem not sad, but they seem more historical, and that's nice. So it helps to lie a little bit to ourselves. That's the reality. It's not as sad as it looks, because you can't see dirt so much in black and white. You see the structures, the factures, the brick on the wall. You can't see how dirty and how sad it is, to be honest. And there is a reason why I don't know what's the English title of the series, but if you guys have left Netflix, you can watch a series Let Children. In Polish, it's Ołowiane Dzieci, where it shows a bit of the history of the region. Black and white photography helps to preserve a touch of a charm of a place, even if the place itself no longer feels charming, like this areas right here. Okay, let's go somewhere further. Can you see this gorgeous building? That's the main reason why I wanted to come here today. I'll show it to you better in pictures, but the building itself, it's fabulous. Unfortunately, this time it's a real shame. It's very dilapidated. It's falling apart, but it has so many architectural details that I truly love. And here, right next to it, there's this interesting street that is nicely lit right now. I hope you can see it because there's no ND filter on Action 4. So I'll stay here for a while, take some shots, and I'll get back to you from home, and I'll tell you what can you do with your Olympus and OM System cameras to get the nicest black and white photos. So see you from home. All right, as promised, I'll show you how to get the nicest results, or what can you control within your Olympus or OM System cameras to get the nicest black and white photos. So first of all, I'll focus on Olympus cameras. There's many of them on the market, on the used market, plus most of these cameras will have these functions as that one because they don't have the creative dial. So to have nice black and white experience, the first thing we need to do, we need to go to Super Control Panel and change here from whatever color profile we had before. We click OK and we change it to monotone. And as we do that and we go to Super Control Panel, we have few more options that showed out to be available. So we can adjust sharpness. I like to keep it at -1, but you can do whatever your heart wishes. Then we can adjust the contrast. I like contrasty black and white photos, so I have it on +1. Then you can adjust the color of the photo, because it can be either this neutral black and white, or sepia, or blue, or purple, or green. So whatever you wish. And you can change the filters. Now please notice what happens at the screen while I change the filters. This bird that you can see, the whistle, it's red. The car from Paw Patrol is blue. So please notice what happens to the photo as I change the filters. They can completely change the way the photo looks as we change the filters, because they influence the colors, or they imitate how the physical filter would work. And for instance, I love the red filter because I love what it does to the sky. It darkens the sky when it's blue, so it's really, really nice. So basically, that's it. You cannot add any grain here. That's all that you can do with black and white color profile in your Olympus cameras. It will work on Em10s, Em5s, on Pen series, on Em1s, I assume on OM1 as well. So yeah, but on OM1, because it has newer menu, I'll show you on the example of Em or OM3 how to do that. So there are two options how to reach similar goal in OM3. So the first one is quite similar to what we did with Em10. We go to Super Control Panel, and as you can see here, I will choose monochrome. And on my left hand side on the screen, as you can see here, we have the same options we had in Em10. So we've got sharpness, we can adjust it either by clicking the, this tab here, or by rolling the front wheel. We can adjust the sharpness, we can adjust the contrast, we can again put some filters on. I'm saying put them on, but you know, I mean the virtual filters or digital filters on. We can change the color of the photo. It will still be monochrome or monotone, but with different coloring. But we can add something like gradation. So it can be low, so it will be darker. It can be high, so it will be way brighter. Or it can be normal or auto, whatever you wish. So this is what we can do if we just choose it from Super Control panel. However, this is not where the magic happens. To get full potential of your monotone or monochrome pictures in OM3 or any other camera that has this creative dial, we turn it to mono, and then a new array of options appears. So now when we are in this mono on the creative dial, when we click Super Control Panel, as you can see, we have here mono 2, but we have more of these profiles. There are 4 mono profiles. If there is a star next to them, it means you made some adjustments to the profile. It's not as the company gave it to you, not as created by OM System, but it has been changed by you. So what can we change here? First of all, we can use color filters. So when we use the dials, we can move with a top dial or front dial. We move through different filters, as you can see. And with a back dial, we adjust the strength of it. We have 3 levels of strength. We can have maximum strength at level 3. We can have medium on level 2 and level 1, or we can totally turn it off. Just bear in mind that you can only have one filter at the same time turned on, right? It doesn't mean that all the filters will be at the same level, just one filter at the same time. So this is what we can do here. We can also adjust highlights and shadows here. Highlights, shadows, and midtones, which is fantastic, because quite often when you can adjust highlights and shadows, you can't do anything with midtones. And when you enter this menu, usually you will be in highlights and shadows. So again, we can use both dials. The front dial is for highlights, the back dial is for shadows, and you can adjust if you want them to be in minus or in plus. Minus always makes things darker, plus makes it brighter. So the way that I have it here, it's a very contrasty setting. And if you press Info button while you're in that menu, and you press Info, it takes you to midtones, and you can also adjust your midtones. If I go lower, you can see that the midtones go darker. If I go higher, you can see midtones go brighter. So I think I'll darken my midtones. I like dark black and whites. Another thing that you can do here, which I'm not the greatest fan of, to be honest, because I think this effect is way too strong. You can add shading effect, but look at the huge difference that comes from 0 to 1. If this was more gradable, I would be more happy with it, but this is not something that I'm excited about, because it's just too much. But if you like it, then by all means, you can do it. And if you go the other way around, the vignette turns white. Another thing that you can do here is, again, sharpness, -1 in my case. You can add some more contrast if you want to, in less specific way, in more general way. But what is beautiful here is that you can add grain. And we have 3 levels of this grain. Of course, you don't have to have, Of course, you don't have to have grain, so you can turn it off. But we've got low, medium, and high grain. And I've already taken 3 different shots of this amazing scene to show you the difference between low, medium, and high. I personally feel high is a little bit too much, but low and medium, I just toggle between them undecided which one I like most. So very nice thing, this grain is very nice. From what I've once heard from someone on YouTube is that they cooperated with Kodak, not Kodak, yes, with Kodak in the past, and thus the grain looks so nice. And of course the last thing we can change here, it's again the color of the whole photo. So that's it. I hope it was a little bit helpful or informative. Thank you very much for watching and hope to see you soon. Bye bye.